all, this is Larry here with a full in-depth Cupid review, because I have Cupid. You have seen him already. You have seen a few sneak previews of his power, and I'm gonna show off his power later in this video, but first I'm gonna show off his consistency in a raid. Actually, what I'm going to do here is just drop all my heroes, and when I have dropped them I won't care about them anymore, because I do need to drop some spells, of course, but I don't really have to care about how to place them and such, because I have Cupid, and Cupid just makes Pumpkin Duke proc faster, and Pumpkin Duke makes the rest proc faster and himself proc faster, which means that together with Cupid you're actually going to zip really fast through a base, and that's what you're going to see here. It only takes me about 40 seconds. It would have taken me a little bit less time if that town hall wasn't lonely right there. And this is another raid, and I picked this one for its representativity, and what I could do here is just drop everything, and I actually used Ars Frenzy here to buff up Pumpkin Duke and make sure that Pumpkin Duke buffed a little bit more, and you're going to see that. And here's Pumpkin Duke going to hit the wall, so drop my Ars Frenzy right down right here on my Pumpkin Duke, so my Pumpkin Duke starts attacking faster. That means that the rest is going to buff a lot more, and together with Cupid that means actually that they are just gliding through the base, and you can actually see that Pumpkin Duke goes off enough to just let him go right through and not really make it a difficult task. My Cupid is only 4 on 5 heavy blow, though 3 on 5 heavy blow, not 4 on 5. So he is not really talented, to be honest. It is okay in boss battles, I must admit that too, but for Herbie monsters, raids, and arena, it's not really a talent. So actually he's talentless. He is 4 of 9, which saves 2 attacks on each hero for the next proc, actually, which makes him quite alright. It's kind of similar to Pumpkin Duke with regards to having heroes proc more often, although his skill definitely is different, because the energy will actually stay on the heroes till the next wave, and Pumpkin Duke's buff just wears off, and when Pumpkin Duke buffs at the end of a wave, the buff is just wasted, and when Cupid does that, it actually isn't. And you can see that Cupid actually goes off right after all my heroes go off, and you can see here that Cupid is just as loaded as Thunder God and Pumpkin Duke, and that will make that Pumpkin Duke and Thunder God will proc first, then Cupid will proc, and they're probably already halfway again, which means that they can actually proc a lot more often than you would expect, which is really good, because in Herbie monsters you just want Thunder God to proc more often, and that's why Cupid actually is a really good hero, because when a hero is good in Herbie monsters and is good in raids and is good in boss battles and is good in arena, you just want him. If he's not good in both raids and Herbie monsters, it's just an okay hero. That's the problem with Succubus. Succubus isn't the best hero because she is not really a Herbie monster or raider, so but that makes Cupid a really good hero. Oh yeah, and sorry if this Herbie monsters run is a bit laggy. I was having problems with BlueStacks doing really weird, and it's really annoying. I don't know how to solve it, but anyway, this is wave G4, and you can see Cupid just procced, and Thunder God and Pumpkin Duke are both quite loaded. Thunder God even for the full 100%, which means that I'm going into wave G5 with a really revitalized up team thanks to Cupid, because if Cupid wouldn't have procced right there, Thunder God wouldn't have been full. And you can see Cupid is going to proc here and Thunder God is going to proc right after that immediately again, because Cupid procced. And it was really unlucky this wave, and thanks to Cupid I actually made it. Not really thanks to Cupid. If I had Reaper, I probably wouldn't even had that problem, but that's just the problem of the levels and Cupid's talent. I love Reaper more for heavy monsters just because my Reaper is better. Anyway, let's go on to the boss, and I was thinking, well, maybe together with Cupid I can swap out my Atlantic Core and start tanking with Druid. So that was what I was going to try, and I dropped Druid far away and then drop Cupid and Succubus in between, or did I drop Champ and Succubus in between? Yeah, Champ and Succubus in between, and then Cupid and Pumpkin Duke. Problem is Cupid was only 3 of 9 here, so when Cupid procced, he only saved 1 attack from the procs, so it wasn't as big as a leap as 4 of 9 would have been. And I'm going to upload a 4 of 9 video, of course, this week when I do tier 2. And this actually was quite a bit testing and figuring out what should happen, and I think 4 of 9 really makes a difference and really makes sure that my Druid survives, because that would mean that Champ would immediately proc again when Cupid procs, making sure that Druid can get that second heal off and actually save himself from death, and probably getting a full chain stun out. And now I actually have to rely on Cupid hitting on his heavy blow, which is not really the best thing you can hope for. And as you can see, I also shouldn't drop all 4 heroes at the same time. I'm waiting here to just get that full 3 minutes out. I'm not looking for doing top tier damage, because I can still get that first place when I switch out to Atlantic Core and start using Snowzilla instead of Cupid, and instead of Succubus, and Atlantic Core instead of Cupid. So I'm not worried about my damage. But as you can see here, the chain is finally going. My Cupid did a heavy blow hit early enough, and what's happening now is that Champ is actually being buffed up by Pumpkin Duke, and Pumpkin Duke is being buffed up by Cupid, and as you can see, there's almost a full double buff going on from Pumpkin Duke. If you count really closely, you can see Pumpkin Duke going off each 5 seconds or so, I think. Yes, each 5 seconds. So with a 4 of 9 Cupid, that would mean that Pumpkin Duke would go off each 4 seconds and actually would have that constant double buff. Maybe even could make a triple buff and actually perma-stun the boss, making sure that Druid won't get any hit against him anymore. And that would maybe even offer me the chance to use another hero like Succubus or Ninja maybe, or Snowzilla. Snowzilla is a really good start out tank, and that would make sure that I could really do a lot of damage. But the point is, Cupid does give everyone a 20% buff at this stage, and making sure that Pumpkin can do double buffs almost all the time gives another leap in the damage, and not having to use the tank, although it is Atlantic Core, also ups the damage by a little bit. So together with Cupid, and not even that high of a team, I mean, okay, sure, my Druid is level 132 and 5/9, but my team is still not the most astonishing of most around. And as you will see, I will do huge damage this time on the boss. My previous record was almost 16 million, and I think I came above the 19 million right here. Yes, 19 million. So that's an increase of 3 million only with Cupid. That's 3 out of 9. So imagine what you could do when I go to 4 out of 9. So I was actually preparing here to just go the Snowzilla route because I didn't want to waste chances. Anyway, let's go on to Arena. And Cupid is a really beast in Arena, and he offers the possibility to start one-shotting heroes again with Spirit Mage. First of all, this is against an ally of mine, Hembes, and he wasn't online at the moment and I had passed through, so I thought, well, let's have some fun. He ran Atlantic Core, I could drop Pumpkin Nuke there, and together with Cupid that shrine went down really fast. But well, here's another arena match. This was Butterbong. He was challenging me, and he actually ran a refight Cupid, and he has a 5/5 revitalized Pumpkin Duke. And what you will see happen is that Pumpkin Duke procs, Cupid procs, Pumpkin Duke procs again, and Spirit Mage procs, and that is 46k damage on my heroes. That is what Cupid does when he has revitalized. So that's really strong. But here's another example. I was challenging Truan Chong, and I actually was like, well, I knew a setup and I was trolling, let's do Cupid, and he changed his setup. So I was like, oh, that sucks. But I still managed because Cupid got one proc off, and that meant that my Spirit Mage and Reaper both had that tiny little head start that I needed to kill all of his heroes within the time he needed to finish off my shrine. And that's also a thing that Cupid does, is just giving you the tiny head start in any battle, actually, no matter if it's for killing the other team before they kill you or in DPS battles. Cupid gives you that head start, and that head start is really important. It's like revitalize for all of your heroes all over again, and that's why Cupid is actually maybe more OP than Pumpkin Duke in Arena. So anyway, thanks for watching, and if any other questions about Cupid, just ask them in the comments and maybe I'll tell you more in a new video. Well, thanks for watching, see you later guys.